My journey on foot through Cornwall and Devon has brought me to the romantic, remote Helford estuary for a woodland walk through smugglers' country. Britain is a walker's paradise, and these two counties are packed with beautiful walks. The best way to see the true landscape of Cornwall and Devon is on foot. Just another epic cove in Cornwall. Going to the places only your walking boots can take you. You've got to follow the wonderful curves of the river.
Just makes my heart sing.
I'm with you. From the rugged wilderness of Dartmoor to the soaring cliffs of Land's End.
Look at that.
And en route, I'll be seeking out the county's most unforgettable views. This is thought to be the oldest surviving beacon in the British Isles. Pretty impressive.
He didn't fall off.
And meeting the people. It is an honour to be with the godmother of Cornish pasties that make Cornwall and Devon so unique. So walk with me. It's going to be an adventure you'll never forget. The magnificent River Fowl in southwest Cornwall. One of the largest natural harbours in the world. Its wooded creeks and secret tributaries are a hiker's heaven. My walk today takes in two of its most magical spots, Frenchman's Creek and Helford. And to get to my starting point, I'm taking the opportunity to explore this iconic river in true Cornish style. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Zane and Chris, Chris and Zane.
Yeah, good morning, Julia.
Chris Ranger is an oysterman on the River Fowl, one of the few remaining native oyster fisheries in Europe. Fowl oysters have been harvested here for more than 500 years, using only sail and oar. So what's the boat called?
Alf Smithers. So
Alf Smithers.
A-L-F.
Welcome aboard, Alf Smithers. So what are some boat rules then, Chris?
OK, you can't whistle and don't mention the word underground chicken.
What's an underground chicken?
It's a floppy-eared pheasant. It's the thing that hops around.
Is there a
don't
famous one called Peter?
Yes.
Sailors like Chris believe those furry little animals bring bad luck, so I won't mention the R word, or he will not be a happy bunny.
Jibs up.
OK, the mainsail is up. Just don't mention.
Now we're sailing.
We are sailing. Sailing by wind power.
Yep.
This is it. This is what the boat was designed for.
Absolutely.
The oysters are only harvested between October the 1st and March 31st.
We're moving along quite nicely.
Yeah. And a law dating back from 1868 makes it illegal to gather the oysters with mechanical means or from crafts other than sailing or rowing boats.
So.
Hey! Why is it done still using the ancient methods?
I think it's because it's quite a small area. You know, 1,100 hectares. If you had an engine, you could fish it out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Hey, look at that!
We've got a beautiful oyster here. You know, that is a fantastic 100-gram oyster, maybe.
Right.
£6 in your best Mayfair restaurants. 30p to us.
Next time you're having oysters in a posh restaurant, oh, this is the work that goes into them.
So, now's your moment, Julia. Okay. Pull it in from that part.
Yeah, keep pulling.
Keep pulling.
Stick with me. Lifting it this way.
Yep, and it'll all tip in through the... That's it.
Got it.
Good work.
There we go.
An oyster fisherwoman.
Yes.
There you go. There's your first oyster.
Woo.
Stay on board. Come on, stay with me.
Drunk again. Britain's native oysters are in decline, and this industry is becoming increasingly fragile. It's the hard work and passion of guys like Chris that keep this age-old tradition alive.
This beach staring at a screen all day. It's better to have a bad day on the water than it is a good day in the office.
This is a proper Cornish life. The Alf Smithers is taking me south, towards the Helford River. a quiet tendril of the River Fal that stretches 10 miles inland. My walk starts and ends in the village of Helford. A 3-mile loop takes me along the banks of the Helford River, through ancient Pengwedden woods, and on to the remote and romantic Frenchman's Creek, before circling back to the village. Nestled on the southern banks of the river, the secluded, sheltered village of Helford is known for the wealthy sailing community who regularly stop here. But back in the day, it was a bustling port. This place was a haven for smugglers and pirates. There are secret creeks and dense woodlands all around, making it the perfect terrain to ambush unsuspecting boats and hide away stolen booty. It's a very twee and tranquil place today. It's difficult to imagine loads of smugglers and pirates running around, but this was a pretty lawless place. In 1840, the customs house was ransacked, and about 30 men made off with kegs and kegs of stolen brandy. Very bad behaviour. The first leg of the walk takes me less than a mile from Helford village to Pengwedden woods. And no sooner am I out of the village, I'm into ancient woodlands that cling to the water's edge. So that side of the river is slightly more developed than this side of the river, which is privately owned. And those houses over there are worth a small fortune. Over here, it has a timeless atmosphere. Penarvon Cove is a pretty secluded backwater, hidden from view by the woods that protect it. Surrounded by green and mosses and ivy, big trees. Above the cove here is a magical forest. Pengwedden. That means head of the fair stream. Oh, look at this. It's a little Hansel and Gretel style cottage. Oh no, those windows look a bit more religious. What an odd place for a little building like this. The secret stone structure is St Francis's Chapel, built in 1930 in memory of Dr. Leo O'Neill, a keen yachtsman who loved to sail on the Helford River. Look at that. This is the kind of thing that you find in Greece, in the hills. Quite strange. A lot of animal love going on there. We've got frogs and worms and cockerels and hares and hounds. He prayeth best who loveth best, all things both great and small. For the dear God who loveth us, he made and loveth all. Somebody went to a lot of trouble to put this here, didn't they? I bet nobody builds me one of those when I'm dead. On this walk, you're never far from trees or water. And just below the chapel is a lovely little spot to take it all in. This is the perfect place to have a little moment. Listen to the boats tinkling away in the distance, the waves lapping around your feet. A bit of blue therapy going on right here. Lovely. This sheltered arm of the sea is well known for its enigmatic beauty and some of the richest marine life found anywhere in the British Isles. This place is an incredibly important nature reserve. The shoreline itself of the Helford River is an area of outstanding natural beauty. There are oyster catchers along here, there are little egrets, there are kingfisher, there's eelgrass, hermit crabs. All of this nature is so incredibly important to us because it's part of something called the web of life. And we need these things for our very survival, which is why places like this are so impossibly important. One large mammal you sometimes see in these waters and all around the Cornish coast is the grey seal. Britain is home to a third of the world's population of the grey seal, and a couple of miles up the river is the Cornish Seal Sanctuary, a very special place that rescues and rehabilitates injured seals. So I'm making a small detour to say hello. Who's this, Grace?
So this is Sheba.
Sheba's a unit.
Yeah, to us she looks quite a bit like a tank, really. But she's at a good size, a really good weight.
Right.
And for a 45-year-old female, she's doing really
45, that's old.
45, yes, it's really old. They tend to live sort of around 20 to 25 years out in the wild.
Oh, Sheba, I love you even more.
So all of our residents have either come from other collections that needed a home at the time, or they've been rescues that unfortunately, due to different circumstances, they couldn't be released.
Right, who's this?
So this is Ayla.
Ayla, she's a show-off.
She is adorable.
They're
She's so sweet.
very appealing and just, they're just so endearing, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they've just got such different personalities. They are absolute characters, every single one of them. They're almost sort of like dogs of the sea.
Oh, but they're here and they have a lovely home, and you obviously care very passionately about them and their lives, and you get to look at that every day.
That's Bananarama.
Bananarama, I love you. I've got a big bath. Do you want to come home with me? Oh, go on. Please, sardines every day. Yes. That was a yes. I don't think it was, actually. I don't think I sealed the deal. I'll get my coat and I'll get back on with my walk. Oh, it looks almost magical. The enchanting and mysterious Frenchman's Creek awaits. I'm in South Cornwall, walking through woodlands beside the Helford River. Oh, it just feels so lovely when you get that splash of sunshine, even just for a few minutes. The Helford is one of the most unspoilt rivers in Cornwall, with its deep sheltered valleys, ancient oak forests and hidden creeks. And of course, the best way to see a place like this, to feel it, is to actually get on it and in it, become part of the landscape. That's where she comes in. Good morning. I'm not quite sure that I'm ready for this.
I think you were born ready for this.
Right, I better go and get my wetsuit on. Cal Major is a passionate paddleboarder who has 2 world records as the first and fastest person to stand up paddleboard from Land's End to John O'Groats.
So are we ready to go?
Yes, let's do it.
So my top tip to you is to believe you're going to stay on. Look at the horizon and believe. If you believe you're going to stay on, you're much more likely to stay standing.
I'll do a little yogi chant in my head.
Have a mantra going on. If you believe you're going to fall off, you will fall off.
I'm not going to fall off.
Not falling off.
Mustn't forget, I'm attached to something now.
Yes, you are attached to it now.
Stand-up paddleboarding is one of the fastest growing sports in the country. Oh my gosh, it's cold, everybody! Holy moly! It's a great way of exploring the water, but it's not as easy as it looks. Paddleboarding like this was developed in the late 90s. But actually, the first stand-up paddleboards were seen thousands of years ago. Peruvians did something similar 3,000 years ago. And those charming gondoliers, they've been doing it for centuries. Kneeling is the easy bit. Standing up, that's a bit more tricky.
That's brilliant.
Hey!
How's it feeling? Confident?
Yeah! Well, I don't think if a big wave came my way,
I'm not sure we're getting any waves in
I
here.
don't think I'd be fine, but it's nice.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah, look at that! River Helford!
Woohoo! Oh God, super
Let me
confident.
have you! It may look calm and relaxing, and it is, but it's also quite a workout. It burns double the number of calories that you burn during a walk.
Well done, you made it. You didn't fall off.
Thank you. Paddling next to swans and you're seeing the birds dive in and dive off the shoreland. It's just magical, isn't it? It's lovely.
It completely takes you away from all the stressful things that you have to think about every day. And
Something just jumped out of the water there.
Yes.
Don't know what it was, but there was something. There he is, look, look, look. It is a cormorant, diving cormorant, just over there. I mean, look at that, that's magic. Well, Cal, good luck with your future paddles and travels. And thanks for helping me to enjoy the River Halford in a different way today. Oh, well, that was just a brilliant way to connect with nature in all its watery glory. Now, out of the wetsuit, back to the walking boots. I'm heading to Frenchman's Creek, a hidden away tributary off the Halford River. And undoubtedly one of the most evocative and enchanting locations in Cornwall. No one really knows why it's called Frenchman's Creek. There are theories that because it was used by French pirates for skullduggery, the locals named it to warn others of the dangers lurking ahead. Whatever the reason, it's a magical woodland paradise.
I'm really excited to meet Paul today because I think he loves trees more than me. Paul!
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm looking forward to this. Hello, nice to see you. I'm very, very happy to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here. You're at a beautiful place.
Paul Simmons is a local practitioner of a recent Japanese phenomenon that's becoming very popular over here. It's called forest bathing.
Now then, forest bathing, what exactly is it?
It's a therapy. It's a clinically proven therapy, and to me, it's very playful. It's a slow walk utilising all your senses, and it promotes physical and mental health. So, Julia, this is our threshold into the woodlands. This is where we stop and we slow down. And this is a beautiful specimen of oak. Just look at it. So here we've actually got to use all our senses. We're looking at this oak, and we've got to think about its age, we've got to touch it, we've got to smell it.
Okay, I'm going in. I always find woodland walks the most calming, and they're my favourite walks. There's something very special about walking through a woodland and listening to the leaves underneath your feet, and it's just the joy of looking at trees. Bye-bye, tree.
I'm glad you actually spoke to the tree.
Always speak to the trees.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Scientific studies have shown that 2 hours spent in a forest can reduce blood pressure, lower stress levels, and improve concentration and memory.
I've got lots I want to say, but I can't because I'm meant to be quiet for this bit.
As part of the forest bathing experience, Paul is encouraging me to spend time on my own, to quietly contemplate the wonder of the nature around me.
Paul's asked me to come and find a sit spot and to then focus on everything that is around me. Lovely, thank you.
So, Julia, how are you feeling after all this?
How do I feel? Well, I'm always happy when I'm in a woodland and when I'm surrounded by trees. But I think what you've reminded me of is there's a great benefit, isn't there, to slowing down, as you said right at the beginning of the walk. Slow down, stop thinking too hard, and just enjoy. Well, thank you. It's been really enjoyable.
My pleasure.
Frenchman's Creek and these ancient woodlands have definitely moved me. But I'm not the only one.
The novelist Daphne du Maurier came here on a honeymoon in 1941, and she was so inspired by Frenchman's Creek that she wrote a novel about it in which a gentrified lady fell in love with a pirate, and it was full of scandal and adventure and glory.
She called the book Frenchman's Creek, and it was one of du Maurier's most popular novels. final leg of my walk, and the path forks away from the creek back across farmland to Helford village.
Here I am, back where I started, in the impossibly quaint village of Helford. But I'm not quite finished. I'll give you 3 guesses.
That's right, the village pub. And there's only one drink I can have to toast this walk: rum and shrub. Shrub is an alcoholic cordial that was originally used in Cornwall during the old days of rum smuggling.
Thank you very much.
To disguise the taste of seawater that had seeped into the barrels during the journey from ship to shore.
Here we go. Rum and shrub. The smuggler's cocktail, perfect for the end of this walk. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Cheers.